This is Harvard, and I'm sitting here with my good friend, Zach Sibity, and we are two heads are better than one. And I'll tell you what, I think it's going to find out that's a little interesting today, why sometimes you need two heads, three heads, four heads, and a sheet full of players and stuff like that. Zach, let me ask you something. And this is not to set you up, because I'm sure you know most of the answers, but I didn't even know half of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, anybody that's watching this video probably doesn't know who Connor Shaw is. You ever heard of Connor Shaw? Dustin Vaughn, you might have heard of him. He's from Dallas, but Taylor Handicapping, Bryce Petty, and I could go on and on and on. Ryan Nasbitt. In fact, who is Ryan Nasbitt?
Well, Ryan Nasbitt, he comes from Syracuse, so I know all about him.
But what is he? I mean, I throw this out into football land. Who are these guys I'm talking about?
Well, Bryce Petty and Connor Shaw, they come from the power schools in college football, Baylor and South Carolina. Connor Shaw was kind of up and down throughout his career at South Carolina, but NFL teams, they're not going to throw a bunch of money out at third-string quarterbacks, so they bring in these guys.
So these are all third- and fourth-string quarterbacks that no one's ever heard of, but yet they could be playing a role in this week's games.
Yes. So they're going to be vying for those key snaps. Maybe some of them rotate up in the depth chart and get that second position. But Ryan,
absolutely, a lot of controversy and competition there.
Ryan Nasbitt's a key one, though. So you want to look at guys like him in his third year out of Syracuse. Is he going to have that arm? His first year, he struggled in preseason. Last year, semi-decent. So I think the Giants are definitely evaluating him to see if he can hold that position. I don't think he can. He kind of had that fluke senior year at Syracuse to get him in the spotlight.
Well, let's don't analyze him so much as analyze the process that we go through I'm sure you guys out there as betting wants to go through. So I'm sure it's safe to say that Eli Manning has got the job locked up. I mean, we don't need to put that out there. So basically, he doesn't even need to play. He needs to work on getting hit. That's one of the things.
Yeah.
Running wind sprints and getting in conditioning and lifting weights, that's not what it's about. It's when you start getting hit and the feel of getting hit by the defense. That's when. So maybe he wants to take a few shots, but he also doesn't want to get injured. So that's why you're going to see a Ryan Nasbitt or you're going to see a Ricky Stanzi. Now, the key to this is there's 32 teams, so there's like 64 quarterbacks that are going to be playing second and third string, and a lot of them we already have the coach's game plan. Yes, there's going to be, like there's one team that I know we're playing on, I believe, Thursday, where they don't have it, the starters are not playing, and they're playing a team where most of the starters are playing the first half.
Yeah.
I also know there's a team on, I believe, Saturday that's playing, and they're playing their number one and number two starter because they have a competition, and they have to announce him after this game which one won so they can move on into the second week and prepare themselves for week 3, which is the dress rehearsal. And keep in mind, week 4, nobody plays except who they're going to keep on the 53-man roster, so they have to make a lot of cuts. So this week, right now, there's some valuable information that you and I have dug up by going through all the papers and all the websites and things like that. We've got the coaches' game plans. We know who's going to be playing their starters the whole first half versus teams that aren't even going to really basically dress the starters.
Exactly.
So you have some games that you're looking at with me. I have some. I know we're going to be putting out a huge play on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's 3 for the money, and you'll be able to get that right here probably by, in a couple of hours. Now, let's go back to a game that I really want to talk about, and it's the Pittsburgh. They played last week against Minnesota. We told you right here to take Minnesota. I even said as soon as I leave here, I'm going to go and bet it because Minnesota, they've averaged the last couple of years 14 points a game. They don't care. But keep in mind, week 2 of the preseason, we see where teams that lose the Hall of Fame game are 5-1 the last 6 years, covering the spread in week 2. And there's a couple reasons. One, they don't want to go 0-2. I mean, that's really not good momentum builder.
No.
And number 2, they've already taken in who they've already seen, how they analyze the game, and things like that. So we got Pittsburgh playing against Jacksonville. Do you have any notes on that game yet?
Not notes in particular, but what I saw from Pittsburgh, obviously I can see them having a better game plan. I think Landry Jones, as poor as he played, he had some opportunities to get that team some points. Obviously they were unfortunate on that 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. He missed a receiver on the left side of the end zone. That could have been a touchdown. Just some throws he wishes he could get back, and that's part of the jittery bug of knowing you're going to play a complete game, which Pittsburgh told him, you're going to play a complete game. They didn't use anybody else. They didn't use Ben Roethlisberger. They didn't use anybody else. But this next game for him is going to be a high grade. I mean, Pittsburgh obviously isn't happy with the way he played in that game. And defensively, I liked what I saw from Pittsburgh, even though Minnesota didn't really have a big game plan either. But their linebackers were impressive. The cornerbacks did just enough. And Jacksonville's doesn't really have the juggernauts at quarterback either.
Well, let me touch base on that Pittsburgh. First of all, Gretkowski, the third-string quarterback, he's out. Here's what they're going to do. Tomlin said every single healthy player is playing this week.
Yeah.
And he wants to check the depth behind the starters. He wants all the established players that are not injured to play. So, granted, Ben probably won't play too many series, 2 or 3 series, and then it's going to be all about Gretkowski. And he's already got that one game under his belt. Landry Jones. The safeties, Golden and Ventron, they're out. So we might be able to see a little bit of movement from the Jacksonville side. Now, you know what's interesting? They brought in this rookie, Michael Bennett. They also got Julius Thomas to come over and stuff. What they're doing is very interesting. They're not watching game film of other teams.
No.
They're watching game film of their teammates,
yeah.
Which I think is very, I haven't heard that too often. And I think the problem that Jacksonville could have this week is they've got 2 starters in the defense definitely out, and there's a lot of other starters for the injuries that have injuries on the defensive side. So I really think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think that the going back to the Hall of Fame game, loser usually starts off with a win in week 2. They're 5-1, as I said. The line is at Pick'em, and I'm going to take a play on the Steelers. How do you feel about that against the spread?
I agree with that too. I think it's going to be another low-scoring game, and this time, if Pittsburgh has the opportunities that they had last game, they're going to cash in. So maybe they score 17 points, maybe 20, right around there. But Jacksonville, Chad Henne, he's on his last leg. I think he's a poor backup veteran to have. Blake Bortles has pressure.
Well, Blake Bortles, he's got to find an offensive line and mainly some wide receivers. This guy's not a bad quarterback. He's just never had any tools. Yeah. So they're going to be searching out those tools for him. But I think, like you said, this could be very easily a 20-14 game, 20-10, 17-10, something like that. I'm telling you, I think that a pick'em game, I think Pittsburgh will win, and I think both teams will score less than 20 points each.
Yeah, and people will key in on Jacksonville thinking they have that depth. This is the problem with people in handicapping preseason. They'll look at names at quarterback and see that they've started games before and think that's an advantage. Jeff Toole had those few games with Buffalo Bills. Obviously, Chad Henne had his years with Miami, other teams, and whatnot. And Stephen Morris, okay at my University of Miami, but these are quarterbacks that are subpar in my opinion, and I really don't see them being a benefit in this preseason game.
Well, Chad Henne could play a little bit better than some of the others, but I do like if you had to go and compare Ben versus Blake, and then Chad versus Landry Jones, right there, the best 2 quarterbacks, obviously, with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I think in a quarterback league, I think let's go with them. Now, remember, coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we've got a couple teams. One that I'm really keying on, they got a team where the starters are not playing, and they're playing against a team that wants to see all their starters the first half. Big advantage for us. I think we have a game on Friday or Saturday. I believe it's Saturday. Big, huge quarterback competition, a little controversy, and they want to announce who's going to be that quarterback. And then on Sunday, we want to talk about the Sunday game here on this video. I think it's going to be one of the more interesting games. I'm not sure if I'll bet it yet or not. Right now, we've got the Philadelphia, they're playing Indianapolis. And this is another Chip Kelly era. I mean, this guy, in a way, I don't think he's mocking the obvious, but this guy thinks it's like chess. You can show me one chessboard, and I'll show you different pieces I could put in any given year, any given week and month and things like that. Different players, but the same type of scheme, the same moves and things like that. He thinks that all players are replaceable in his system, but here's what I think. I can't wait for. First of all, you have Sam Bradford. I do not believe he's going to play. He told the coach yesterday he wants to play, but I don't think they're going to play. They're going to start Mark Sanchez, and then who are they going to move in for the second half? Somebody I've been wanting to see play a second half for years, since the Denver games, Tim Tebow. They also are going to look at they have one key position that they have to look out for is their offensive left guard in that position, and they're going to be running people in and out, but they're going to keep the starters right around that. On the other side, what a good look we're going to have at Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton. The over is 42, and I think between Luck and Hilton and Sanchez and Tebow getting the job done, I think the number will fly over 42. And I think what I'm going to do is just play the over 42, sit back and have a cool one on Sunday night, and just root for both teams to score, but mainly just watch Tim Tebow and enjoy that game. But do you see any advantage one way or the other in this game, Zach?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance to really handicap that game, but looking at your points, I could see that total going over. I'm not sure how much Tim Tebow will play. I think they have those vanilla packages for him, but he'll probably get a few series in the fourth quarter.
Well, do you see Hasselbeck playing for Indianapolis? He's number 2. I mean, how long are they going to leave Andrew Luck? My point is, Luck will be in there, Hasselbeck will be in there, Brian Bennett could play, but what my point is, they're trying to work Gore a little bit. They're trying to work on some new receivers and things like that. The T.Y. Hilton, he wants to show some people what he's doing. I think they want to mesh more of the offense because they know up front they have to win the entire league right now. Offense, score. So that's why I kind of like the over.
It was a great game last year, even though that's not elements of this game here in the preseason.
Well, anyway, your best bet is to go to Winning Edge for plays like this, and the video that will be posted up. We also have coming up being posted is the previews of all the AFC division teams and every team in the NFC. We've done that in the last, I believe that's 6 videos there. They're all about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't watch them all at once, but you'll get a lot of information on what's going on, what has happened since last year's Super Bowl, the draft, the trades, free agents, who's coming into the training camps, and our predictions and what we look for and why we think that some of these teams, what they have to do to get ready for the regular season. Also, make sure that you come. We'll have this video up, and also I want you to come back and make sure you get on that one play, 3 for the money. All these games will be written up and will be handicapped and will be rated. So if you want to just get them one at a time, that's fine. If you want to get all 3, that's also fine, and then you're set for the game. Our top play of the day Thursday, top play Friday, and our top play Saturday. And we should be back this time next week, and good luck this weekend for all your football.